Issues Committee, and I'm honored to have the opportunity today to interview Endera Allen. She's the leader or one of the leaders of the DEI Task Force and a fellow member of the League of Women Voters of Manatee County. Hi, Endera.
Hello, everyone.
You want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Endera Allen Stevens. Me and my sisters, we run a newspaper up in Connecticut. It's called the Northend Agent. It's one of the oldest and largest African-American newspapers in Connecticut. And yeah, I'm our social media manager. I do graphic work for us, and I'm also our editorial assistant. So working my way up the ladder.
That's wonderful. Well, we're so happy to have that expertise and your experience on our call today, because in support of our community outreach efforts, in today's interview, we're going to be focusing on the art of asking questions. So what project have you been working on for Northend Agents newspaper that gave you this opportunity to practice those skills?
So in 2020, I really began taking over our social media, and we have a social media manager. So I am now the social media manager, but we had someone come in and help us with our social media. And he's like, people want to see you, they want to know you. And I'm like, I don't want to get on camera. But I got on camera and I started doing interviews, because then I wasn't going to be the focal point of being on camera. And I was like, I really love this. So I just got into it, I threw myself into it, and I've had amazing interviews thus far. Like, it's just been an amazing experience.
What innate skills did you find as you started engaging in this that you had to call on for a good interview?
I'm a very quick learner. So I only like to do just the minimal amount of research on something, and then I just find like I like to do things differently. I don't like to do things the same way. So I did do some research on how to do interviewing, but like, I'm a quick learner. So that was one of my innate skills. And also people pleasing. That it sounds crazy, but this is the perfect time for your people pleasing to become your superpower, because if you're a people pleaser, you know if somebody is not feeling well, if they don't like this or that, you just know. So you can use those abilities to create a safe space for people to feel really comfortable. And also, I'm okay with being vulnerable. I'm okay with making mistakes. So I just make them, and then they see that they can be vulnerable with me, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's cool.
Tell me more about creating that safe space, and what things did you intentionally have to do to make them feel comfortable? Like, if you were to try to teach it to someone else, what tips or tools would you teach someone else to help create a safe space for someone interviewing?
Well, when you're getting on the camera with somebody, the camera is kind of daunting. So like anybody who's getting up there. So for me, I like to have an initial conversation with the person. So I'm in correspondence with them. I share the questions that I'm going to ask them, and that way there's no surprises when they get into the interview. They have time to prepare. So that eliminates some of that stress. And there's also the correspondence with me. And then I get on the phone and I'm just my bright, bubbly self with them. And we just chat for a little bit, and I tell them, I'm like, you're going to be okay. Like, I'm going to take great care of you. Like, when we get on the interview, you're going to be completely fine. And then when we get on the video call, then I talk to them for a little bit, and then we kind of get into it. And if I notice they're getting a little bit uncomfortable, I will jump in and I will affirm whatever they're saying in that moment, or I will do something that will help them kind of like feel just a little bit more comfortable, because they're really nervous at the time. So you want to bring down their nerves.
What signals do you look for to know whether or someone is comfortable or not?
It's all about the tone of voice. Like, I don't know, like, I can just pick up on it really easily, because like I said before, like I do have a people-pleasing tendency. I'm working on it, but it's an energetic cue. Like, when I'm talking with you, Helen, you're engaged, you're calm, you're centered. Like this, you've been on the camera before, so you're comfortable here. Another person who might not be here before, they may be fidgeting, they may be moving side to side, unless that's that's just how they are. Their tone of voice may like go high and stuff like that. So just catching those little cues, just making sure you're completely focused on that person and trying to put yourself in their shoes so that you can feel how they're feeling, and then try to fix things so that they feel a little bit more comfortable